that Kingfisher won't go belly up?
Kingfisher Airlines will never go belly up. I am extremely confident that it's going to be one of the most successful ventures of the UB Group.
King of good times, Vijay Mallya is all set to take Deccan into Kingfisher's folds. Arshad Banerjee brings you more.
The two airlines are going to merge, Kingfisher into Deccan Aviation.
So Vijay Mallya bought another airline company called Air Deccan at what many people thought was a vastly inflated price so that he could get hold of their international slots. He wanted an international carrier where he was flying to Singapore and London and New York. He wanted to join the big leagues.
India's biggest airline, after merging with Air Deccan, has started daily non-stop flights between London and Bangalore. Guests can expect high-end pampering at 30,000 feet.
Bangalore to London service is the first by an Indian carrier. I think we have a vastly superior product at a great price, and we know our market.
It had become the best airline. There was no doubt about it. He became the biggest airline in the country. I think he became bigger than Air India.
I think he overpaid for that airline. He needed to borrow more and more just to keep that whole airline's business afloat. I think that's when his problem started.
The king of good times, Vijay Mallya, bagged another plum deal as he bought a Formula One team.
The Formula One team acquisition came in at the right time. It's turning out to be a well-thought-out business strategy.
He brought Indian sporting to an international level. I mean, who in India had ever even thought of owning, a Formula One team?
We got a Formula One team, we've bought a cricket team, and these are his own personal hobbies and interests, which became huge businesses.
But then it all went wrong.
Official word of a U.S. recession and a dismal start to the week on Wall Street are prompting a worldwide sell-off.
Global economic downturn has hit the aviation sector very hard, prompting companies and individuals to forego air travel, worsening the existing slump.
How tight are you on cash, given that you have an operationally cash-rich business which is liquid?
We will raise capital to the extent that is required. I think the focus fully is on profit. We are working very, very hard to make sure that we are actually profitable.
On a trip to India in 2009, I had the chance to fly Kingfisher Airlines a few times, and I felt that this airline seemed to have a really high customer service. It was charging prices that were similar to competitors in the marketplace. There were empty seats on the aircraft, so how could they survive with such a cost structure? And that's what piqued my interest in the airline. And when I came back to Canada, I just wanted to go through the financial statements and see what was going on. I just read through the financial statements of the airline and I said, well, this airline is not in a good situation. The business was not generating as much cash it needed to survive on a day-to-day basis. Their costs were higher than their revenue. There seemed to be no hope for the airline to come out of it. And that's why they had to keep on going back to the banks to fund more cash.
And so in October 2009, Mallya got a loan from IDBI Bank, which was a public sector bank. This loan was for about $200 million. Kingfisher gave the bank financial projections about how much money they were going to be making in revenue and how profitable that they were going to be.
I am really surprised that the lender, which is IDBI, actually depended only on projections that were provided by the company and did not look at the audited numbers that were being disclosed in the marketplace. The second thing was that Mr. Mallya used the brand value of Kingfisher Airlines in order to get additional loans from the bank. Now that is very irresponsible banking in my view.
how do you put a valuation on the brand, on the logo? It's an intangible asset, and so typically these are not accepted as part of loan agreements, but in this occasion it was.
How come bankers in IDBI ignored all these red flags? There may be political pressure, there may be incompetence in part of the bankers, there may be corruption in the system. All three are possible, all three are likely.
My strategy is, if I have to leverage, I go for leverage. Banks are willing to lend me more money because the banks know the fundamentals, having done their due diligence on my businesses. But then my track record is flawless. I pay back my debt.
He knew, I think, at the back of his mind that this debt mountain was growing. And he also probably knew there was no way of recovering from it. I assume he realized that things were going wrong, even when he put up this public front and said, things are fine.
Now, Veritas had reported, the report claimed, in fact, that Kingfisher Airlines and UB Holdings were on the verge of bankruptcy.
So our reports were published. A pie in the sky seemed very apt to me because it was so far out there that it seemed it was not going to survive and it was just flying on hope.
I'm rather surprised actually that the so-called Veritas report is being so extensively quoted. Frankly, I've never heard of Veritas.
Mr. Mallya was dismissive of it, and he did make a couple of statements in the public media disparaging our work as well as our firm.
It's a shame that there's been so much attention paid to the Veritas report, which contains a lot of glaring factual inaccuracies.
We highlighted issues that Indian people needed to be aware of. Our report was the tipping point in terms of changing the discussion surrounding Kingfisher Airlines. After our report was published, scrutiny really heightened on the company.
Hi, this is Josh.
If you borrow 5,000 rupees and you default as a farmer,
say that I can see my rating
if
went
you
back
borrow
up to
5,000 crores, you can get away with it. That's the
I
problem.
hope that you are
that's
well
the problem
wherever
we
you
need
are.
to address.
I'm twitching. This is only the second time that I've... I mean, I've been here before. This is only the second time that I can say I've been above 2,000.
By 2011,
in bullet chess,
money became a huge
in the background
problem.
you can hear, excuse me.
Fuel went from $48 to $130.
I was watching Netflix and
I
this
remember
video came
the
up
day
for
when
VJ,
Indian Oil, the fuel
bad boy
company,
of India.
called our CFO
So I'm
and
watching
said,
about
we are not going to
India's
extend the
Trump
credit line
in the background.
anymore, and you have to pay cash.
I do have a friend
to
from
buy
his
fuel.
family's from Mumbai, I've known since high school.
That was probably the worst day for the airline. That
and,
we
we
have
used to
come
run
to
a
this
circus
such a
club
great
at
airline,
Bronx
and,
Science.
we have come to cash and carry.
Some of the older Orthodox and
When
Jewish
things got
students
bad, they got really
and
ugly.
non-Jewish used to come to play.
So he had not paid catering over a period of time.
Play chess while we were
So there
juggling
wasn't
in the
enough
teacher's
food on board.
cafeteria with our advisors.
So we started
Mr.
getting our
Strauss
own
and
food.
Mr. Rudishan. So, well, chess has
We'd
always
take
been a
out our
hobby. I
crew
think my
meals
dad
and
taught
we'd
me the
serve,
game.
And then when we
and,
land at a particular airport, we try to find food
you know,
at the
I've
airport.
never been.
Nobody said
you know,
that,
I
look,
would,
this
if
is
I
a really
had better books,
bad situation which is
maybe
going
I
out
would
of
be
control,
better at the
and
player if
maybe
I had
we
some
need
type
to
of
correct
formal
it.
training. But this is all just learning on my own.
That did not
And that's the way circus was also, just without any formal
I was trying
course or
to tell
instruction.
him to cut his losses
or
and get out of
classes.
the airline's
So
business.
I'm
But he kept
proud
telling me, he
to,
said, no,
have
I can
achieved
rescue
this so
this
far
airline.
as an amateur player.
I can turn it around. I can definitely
Again, a
make
better
it work
strategy would
again.
be to befriend or those who can truly help or would be willing to help me.
Literally bet everything he had on trying to
Anyway,
rescue that
I'm back
airline.
up to 2,000, so this is the end of my stream. I hope wherever you're having a good day. It's getting a little
was a
cooler
doctor.
and the sun's going down a little earlier here in Brooklyn.
Whatever you put
during
your
COVID
heart and soul
lockdown.
into, there's going to be an element of personal
Again, thank you
pride.
for watching my stream,
I
following my
think he
stream
genuinely wanted to save
here
the
on
airline.
Twitch. This is new to me also.
To
Also, you can check me out
write
on
the
YouTube.
epitaph of Kingfisher
I was
Airlines
writing a
is not
series
fair.
of shorts on,
lot has
on
been
mating
said
patterns,
about the
because I like to be, and even in bullet chess,
We are in
attacking
compliance
player.
with their payment terms.
Here I was sort of
This
just
is a
shuffling
huge
around
growing
and just
market.
won by flag falling.
And
But,
so the future is bright.
I'm back. So I hope you're having a good day, and
It progressed to a point where he stopped paying us our
playing chess
salaries.
now. I have to get ready for some tutoring work.
Employees wrote letters to Malia and said,
again,
we
thanks for
need our
watching my
payments,
video,
we need our
and,
money, why aren't you paying us? He assured us that things would get better and he'd pay us. He kept telling us he's going to banks, he's